I really like Duncan, Idaho. He seems like a determined man and someone who is of duty and very loyal to House Atreides even until his death. But there is a night in the book that he shows up to the house drunk. So drunk that it actually changed my opinion of him a little bit. And weirdly, it's raised my opinion of him, not because he gets drunk and almost kind of ruins the House Atreides with a secret that he tells Jessica that she didn't know, but because of the reason for his getting drunk in the first place and what Jessica diagnoses it with. It's a really interesting chapter of the book where Jessica wakes up and thinks that the house is under attack from the Harkonnens. The book says, Jessica heard the disturbance in the Great Hall, turned on the light beside her bed. The clock there had not been properly adjusted to the local time, and she had to subtract 21 minutes to determine that it was about 2 a.m. The disturbance was loud and incoherent. Is this the Harkonnen attack, she wondered? But it's not. And so she hears soldiers yelling for Dr. Yue as she walks out, and she sees soldiers trying to hold back Duncan. At that moment, in my head, in my read, I was kind of curious if he was coming to attack the Atreides or something. Maybe it was some kind of weird mind control moment. But as Jessica comes and the soldiers kind of get annoyed because Duncan just woke up Jessica, the book says this. So I woke the lady Jessica, Idaho muttered. He lifted his face toward the ceiling, bellowed. My sword was first blooded on Grumman. Great mother, he's drunk, Jessica thought. This is the moment that the chapter gets a bit funny to me. Duncan getting drunk and Herbert writing some funny drunken text like Idaho swung his unsteady head around to peer at an angle toward Jessica. Killed more than 300 men for the Duke, he muttered. What do you want to know? Why I'm here? Can't live under the ground here. Can't live on a ground here. What kind of place is this, huh? It's funny, but it's also a bit sad. And as Duncan does this through his drunken stupor, the reader kind of understands from the previous chapter that Duncan is supposed to be the tail and the informant of Jessica. Thufir does not trust Jessica at all, so he tells Duncan to make sure he watches her every move and reports back to him. And it's disguised as security detail for Duncan, but in this drunken moment, Jessica tried to scold him. And the book says this. This is no way to act in your Duke's home, she said. She snatched the cup from Yue's hand, spilling part of it. Thrust the cup toward Idaho. Now drink this, that's an order. Idaho jerked himself upright, scowling down at her. He spoke slowly with careful and precise enunciation. I do not take orders from a damn Harkonnen spy. Yue stiffened, whirled to face Jessica. Her face had gone pale, but she was nodding. It all became clear to her. The broken stems of meaning she had seen in the words and actions around her these past few days could not be translated. She found herself in the grip of anger almost too great to contain. It took the most profound of her Bene Gesserit training to quiet her pulse and smooth her breathing. Even then, she could feel the blaze flickering. And so Jessica realizes what is happening, so she slaps Duncan to kind of get him out of a stupor, and then she demands to see Thufir immediately. And this whole conversation that Thufir and Jessica have is going to be another video because the conversation is just so tense, and it's a really crazy conversation. But the one thing that this conversation does have is the diagnosis for what's going on for Duncan, and it makes him and the entire group of soldiers on Arrakis something a bit sadder. The book says, let us discuss something else for a minute then, she said. Duncan, Idaho, the admirable fighting man whose abilities at guarding and surveillance are so esteemed. Tonight he overindulged in something called spice beer. I hear reports that others among our people have been stupefied by this concoction. Is that true? You have your reports, my lady. So I do. Don't you see this drinking as a symptom, Thufir? My lady speaks riddles. Apply your mentat abilities to it, she snapped. What's the problem with Duncan and the others? I can tell you in 4 words. They have no home. He jabbed a finger at the floor. Arrakis is their home. Arrakis is unknown. Caladan was their home, but we've uprooted them. They have no home, and they fear the Duke's failing them. Duncan and the other men are just homesick. And I find that so human, and it makes me so much more sympathetic to them, especially to Duncan. It would kind of be crazy to be uprooted from your house at 20 to 30 years old, and know you're probably never going to see it again because you're going to another planet. That's crazy. Duncan is tough and he's great and he's loyal and he's a good fighter and he's just a great character all in all. And Herbert makes this strong man cope with his homesickness with drinking, which is just a relatable thing, to be completely honest. And it just makes me like Duncan all the more. But that's all I got for you. Just a little quick expose on how Duncan just gets drunk one night, and it kind of makes me like him and appreciate him more because he's so human. So if you like this video, make sure you subscribe for more of my content as I am reading through Dune for the first time and talking about all my thoughts and feelings in anticipation for the final movie. You can like the video too, you can become a member, and as always, do not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is a little death that brings total obliteration. I'll see you in the next one.